Good morning and welcome back to our final fabulous segment here on Cityline. With me, I have an individual that has all kinds of great news about Pierce Transit. So get out your pen and paper and start taking notes, because the one and only Penny Grillier. Hi, Penny.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
You are the Communications Administrator for Pierce Transit. Has a lot to say this morning.
I
so
do.
let's start out with, just now you said you were going to take the bus back to your home because you're still kind of working remotely, which leads me to, how has the agency recovered from COVID pandemic impacts, and are people using the services differently now because of that?
Yeah, I think something that a lot of people might not know is we didn't stop services at all during the pandemic.
That's right.
Other businesses had to close down, but one of the things that Pierce Transit prides itself on is being there for especially essential workers. And in fact, our workers, operators, mechanics, all the folks that make transit go are essential workers too. So we had to be there to get those healthcare professionals to their job and other folks who had to keep working through the pandemic. Now, of course, the ridership did drop a little because we had some commuters like office workers and that who stayed home to work. But we're building ridership back now. And we're also seeing a lot more people getting back into Vanpool, which is another service that we provide.
Yeah. And when you say you're building ridership back up, last fall, the legislature passed Move Ahead Washington,
Yes.
What a great phrase, which provides transit agencies across the state with funding to help support free rides for those ages 18 and younger, which is such a wonderful thing, because if we're going to teach our youth about emissions and climate, we better teach them also how to use mass transit. So how has Pierce Transit responded to this?
Well, it was really a game changer because in partnership with other transit agencies in our region and in fact across the state, we jumped right on it to make the transition for kids to riding free a reality in short order, in fact. And so we have what's called an ORCA card.
And here it is.
Agencies use it.
Yeah.
And so we had over 20,000 of those cards delivered to schools throughout Pierce County so that the kids could get their hands on them. In fact, we also distributed them at our customer service shop, which you can see here. And the thing about it is a lot of kids have after-school activities, they have part-time jobs, they go to sports. With this pass, or the whole ride-free movement, you know, this is something that kids can do. Their parents don't have to worry about how are they going to get to and from these activities. It opens up a world of opportunities for youth and teens.
It does, by lowering barriers. I mean, for the whole family, it lowers barriers. So 20,000 ORCA passes passed out, and how's that going so far?
It's going really well. We've seen an increase in youth ridership already. There's a big campaign in the Puget Sound region to get the word out even further. We've developed a curriculum, kind of a, you know, what's transit, how do I use it, for middle school and high school students, because some kids may not have ridden the bus before, the public bus, you know, and so they kind of need to know how to do it safely, how to have their card ready to use, how to figure out which bus they need to take, all of those things. And then we've also got information packets that we give out to families through the schools as well, so that the parents know what to expect. Maybe they'll go on the first ride with their child, so they can all get used to it together.
Oh, I love that. I love that kind of doing the dress rehearsal before it's actually time to get on the bus and to get to where I need to get. Last time you were here, you shared with us an innovative partnership that provides first and last mile connections for transit for those people living some distance from a bus route. Can you talk a little bit more about that service and how it's going?
Yeah, so over the last few years, we've had a couple of pilots for this first and last mile connective service, and we're pleased to now have 4 of what we call Pierce Transit Runner service.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And So we operate in 4 different zones, as we call them, and these are areas where they may be kind of rural areas or places where it isn't good walkability, or people live maybe a couple of miles from the nearest bus route. And so the runner is something that you can either call or use an app to schedule. It will come and get you in the zone and take you to the closest point where you can catch a bus, or even to your destination if your destination's in the zone.
I can hear moms of little ones, and I can hear our most vulnerable population and senior citizens just giving you a huge high five right now. Because if you have to walk 2 miles or even 4 or 5 blocks, depending upon your physicality, to get to the bus, that may taint how much you get out of the house and are engaged in good, healthy activities. But you guys have figured that out for us.
Yeah.
I love that. So besides these new services, Penny, Pierce Transit has some construction, if we haven't noticed, going on around Pierce County. Can you let us know what's underway right now?
Yeah, we actually have a new transit center that's being built in Spanaway. It's at the very end of what is currently our Route 1, which is our highest ridership route. Down in Spanaway, this is going to be a great place for folks who live in the southern part of our service area to park and ride. It gives them access into local and regional service. In the near future, it will also be the terminus of our bus rapid transit service as well. So this is the first transit center we've built in a number of years.
Wow.
And then if anyone's driven by our Lakewood headquarters, they'll see construction. We're actually remodeling so that we can have up-to-date facilities for our drivers and mechanics to safely work on all the different kinds of buses and vehicles that we use in service.
I love that. Keep it local. Keep those buses here. So besides these new programs, Pierce Transit employees are encouraged, I love this phrase, walk the talk, by using bus and van pools themselves to get to and from work. This last year, Pierce Transit did it so well. It was recognized as Best Commuter Business. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does that signify for you?
So that's an award that's given out by Pierce Trips, which is kind of a cooperative program that recognizes organizations who make it easier for employees to get out of their own vehicle and do what we call a smart commute, something that has a lower carbon footprint and usually involves riding with others. It can be biking, walking, taking the bus, doing a van pool. And so what Pierce Transit does is has a robust employee transportation program. So employees are encouraged, since we're a transit company, to ride the bus or do a van pool. We happen to have a lot of our employees now using van pools to get to and from work. That's one of the benefits we offer.
So, and as we talk about those van pool programs responding to changing needs of commuters, are you seeing, like for instance, you're still working remotely sometimes from your home. So are you seeing different shifts? Are you seeing people coming together saying things like, I work for Amazon in Seattle and we're called back to work, let's get a van pool together?
Yeah, that's how it works. I actually am in a van pool. I go into the office at least once a week and I ride on my van pool. But for others, luckily the state made some changes to van pool regulations recently. Now you only need 3 people to start a van pool. So yeah, it's a lot easier to find co-workers if there's only 3 or more of you to go. So that allowed us to bring some smaller vehicles into the van pool fleet, which some drivers enjoy rather than driving a large van. We have also introduced what we call a part-time rider fare. So if you go into the office 2 or 3 days a week, you can do van pool at a special rate to allow you that flexibility to work from home sometimes and van pool the others.
Boy, way to think of everything.
Yeah.
That is fabulous. That saves on gas, it saves on time, it helps the climate. Well done. So what are some of the summer things that Pierce Transit is encouraging people to get out and do? Because summertime is always big for Pierce Transit.
Yeah, so it's already ramping up, in fact. We have a great outreach team who takes our our mobile booth. We have a van with all of our gear in it. We go out into the community because a lot of people have questions about transit, and there we are at their local event. So we do a lot of different farmers markets. We also go to events like the Maritime Gig Festival and those kinds of things, outdoor summer events, especially important now with the Youth Ride Free program, because then we can talk to families. What is it like to ride a bus? What do you need to know? Let's talk together about planning a trip, that kind of thing.
So you're going to be, if today is the 11th, you're going to be at the Farmers Market on the 13th, no, Puyallup Farmers Market. Then you're going to be at the Broadway Farmers Market, downtown Tacoma, on the 25th. That's a Thursday. And then the Maritime Gig Harbor, you're going to be there as well. I cannot thank you enough for all of the accessibility that you bring to us. You bring freedom to us. You bring confidence, and you bring safety. And those are all the things that everybody in this city needs to have as we are working to and fro from our daily businesses. So, Miss Penny, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. Promise me you'll come back soon?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up another great segment of Cityline. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We've given you some really great things to think about in this past hour, so please go out there, be a part of the tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here on Cityline. Take care.
Come on, it's my home, yeah, come on, it's my home. Well, you're from the east end, you're from Green Bay, you're from Atlanta, but Tacoma's where you'll stay. Well, you're from the east end, you're from Green Bay, you're from Atlanta, but Tacoma's where you'll stay, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home, from the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home, place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Alright, you're from the East Coast, alright, you're from the West, alright, you're from the middle, but Tacoma's still the best. Alright, you're from the East Coast, alright, you're from the West, alright, you're from the middle, but Tacoma's still the best. Hey, Tacoma, that's my home, from the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home, place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home, from the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home, place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my